Lorenzo Musetti vs. Novak Djokovic, Australian Open 2026 quarterfinals, head-to-head, match schedule, and where to watch live. Lorenzo Musetti and Novak Djokovic face off in the 2026 Australian Open quarterfinals on Wednesday, the 28th of January. In a rematch of their Paris 2024 semifinal, the number 5 and number 4 seeds respectively meet for a place in the Final Four of the first Grand Slam tennis tournament of the new season. This is already Musetti's best result at Melbourne Park, with Italy's Olympic bronze medalist now vying to reach a third major semifinal in 3 years. In fact, a victory would also move the 23-year-old into the top 3 of the ATP rankings. Djokovic is vying for a 13th appearance in the Australian Open Final Four in the ongoing pursuit of a record 25th Grand Slam title. The reigning Olympic champion goes into the quarterfinal fresh, receiving a walkover after his opponent Jakub Mensik pulled out with injury. Here's what you need to know ahead of Musetti vs. Djokovic. Australian Open 2026 quarterfinal, Musetti vs. Djokovic head-to-head record. The pair have met 10 times before, with Djokovic leading 9-1 in the head-to-head record. 10-time Australian Open champion Djokovic has won all 4 meetings on hard courts, while Musetti's only win was at the 2023 Monte Carlo Masters. Their last meeting came at the tail end of the 2025 campaign, when Djokovic claimed victory in a 3-hour thriller in the Athens ATP 250 final. It was Djokovic's 101st title claimed in his first appearance in the Greek capital. In a match where both men were vying for the last spot at the ATP finals, Djokovic took it before withdrawing and handing the place to Musetti. When they faced off at the Olympic Games, Djokovic prevailed 6-4, 6-2 on his way to the gold medal at Stade Roland-Garros. The 38-year-old goes into their quarterfinal with a 6-match winning streak against Musetti. 2026 Australian Open. When and how to watch Musetti vs. Djokovic live. Musetti and Djokovic face off in the Australian Open quarterfinal on Wednesday, the 28th of January in the day session, not before 14:30 local time, AEDT, GMT +11, in Melbourne. Here is a selected list of broadcasters for the 2026 Australian Open. Times Australia, 9 Now, Stan Sport. Times USA, ESPN, Tennis Channel. Times Great Britain, TNT Sports, Eurosport Discovery Plus. Times Canada, TSN, RDS. Times India, Sony Sports Network. Times Europe, Eurosport Discovery Plus. Times Africa, Being Sports, Supersport. Clash in Melbourne, Lorenzo Musetti vs. Novak Djokovic, Australian Open 2026 quarterfinals. In the electric atmosphere of Melbourne Park, where the heat of summer and the intensity of tennis collide, a compelling quarterfinal showdown is set to unfold at the 2026 Australian Open. On Wednesday, Lorenzo Musetti, the expressive Italian with a balletic serve and a mesmerizing one-handed backhand, will take on Novak Djokovic, the Serbian legend chasing an unprecedented 25th Grand Slam title. It's a tale of youth, artistry, and ambition versus experience, precision, and absolute will, all unfolding on tennis's grandest hardcourt stage. Head-to-head, numbers and narratives. When the topic turns to Musetti vs. Djokovic head-to-head, the story is clear in mere statistics. Djokovic leads the rivalry 9-1. For context, the Serbian maestro has been a near-constant hurdle for the Italian, often dictating the tempo and exploiting his defensive mastery. The most recent meeting came in Athens in November 2025, where Djokovic emerged victorious in a tightly contested final, showing once again how his resilience and court sense can pivot important points in his favor. Musetti's lone win in the rivalry came on clay in Monte Carlo, where his variety and feel for rhythm unsettled Djokovic's baseline dominance, but the hard courts of Rod Laver Arena present an entirely different challenge. Still, numbers only tell one side of the story. Behind every tally of wins and losses are matchups, match points, unforced errors, and defiant rallies, all of which add texture to this rivalry. Djokovic's mastery is undeniable, yet Musetti's creativity makes him a dangerous opponent capable of bending rallies in unexpected directions. Artist palette: the players, style, strengths, and storylines fire Lorenzo Musetti, the artist. At 23 years old, Lorenzo Musetti embodies a blend of elegance and flair rarely seen in men's tennis today. His one-handed backhand, a shot as beautiful as it is effective, gives him an edge in constructing points and unsettling opponents expecting brute force. In the 2026 Australian Open, Musetti has played with increasing confidence, culminating in a convincing victory over American Taylor Fritz in the fourth round. He dispatched Fritz 6-2, 7-5, 6-4, showcasing improved serve and tactical variation. Reaching his first quarterfinal at the Australian Open marks a career milestone, a testament to growth in consistency and strategic acumen. Musetti himself has signaled respect for Djokovic's legacy, but also a determination to push the legend to his limits, a subtle warning that this will be anything but a walkover. Strengths: tennis racket and ball court creativity and shot variety. Tennis racket and ball one-handed backhand that can dictate rally direction. Tennis racket and ball increasing tactical maturity. Challenges: triangular flag on post Djokovic return game and baseline discipline. Triangular flag on post pressure moments against seasoned champions. Trophy Novak Djokovic, the titan of hard courts. No introduction is really needed for Novak Djokovic, 10-time Australian Open champion, anchor of men's tennis for the past decade, and the man who consistently elevates his game on the sport's biggest stages. Djokovic reached the quarterfinals after his fourth-round opponent, Jakub Mensik, withdrew with an injury, giving him extra rest and a fresh shot at Musetti. Remarkably, Djokovic has not lost a set in the tournament up to this point, a testament to his dominance and competitive tenacity. Beyond physical skill, Djokovic's strength lies in his mental armor, an almost spiritual belief that he can outlast foes in long rallies and pressure points. This resilience is why his head-to-head advantage over Musetti is so pronounced, and why he remains favorite despite Musetti's flay. Strengths: gold sports medal incredible defensive coverage and counterpunching. Gold sports medal elite return game. Gold sports medal mental toughness in tight moments. Challenges: triangular flag on post physical wear and tear over the season. Triangular flag on post rising stars hungry to make their own mark. Calendar # match schedule, date, time, and court. Mark your calendars, this isn't just another match. Round pushpin Australian Open 2026, quarterfinal. Lorenzo Musetti vs Novak Djokovic. Calendar Wednesday, January 28, 2026, Australia local date. Alarm clock approx. 2:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Timing may adjust slightly based on session flow. Round pushpin Rod Laver Arena, Melbourne Park, tennis's most iconic main court outside the majors in New York and London. Given the order of play, Musetti vs Djokovic is scheduled in the day session, meaning early to mid-afternoon local time under the Australian sun, a backdrop both players are accustomed to, yet unique in how heat and light affect momentum and physical rhythm. Globe showing Europe Africa where to watch live, global viewing guide. If you want to catch every serve, volley, and rally live, here's how fans around the world can tune in. Television United States. ESPN and ESPN2 broadcast matches live. Streaming via ESPN Plus and ESPN.